Michel de Montaigne did not live in constant war. He wasn't exiled. He wasn't imprisoned. Yet for nearly his entire life, he devoted his attention to observing another kind of prison, quieter but far more persistent, the prison of the human mind. From that observation, Montaigne noticed something subtle but sharp enough to make us pause. Most people aren't defeated by circumstances. They're defeated by the familiar stories they tell themselves, repeated again and again, without ever stopping to examine them. And this is the crucial point. You think you're thinking, but most of the time you're simply repeating old thoughts, with the same old emotions, following the same familiar mental grooves. Anxiety returns, habitual reactions appear, and then you label all of it as who you are. Montaigne wouldn't rush to agree with that conclusion. He would ask a question that feels uncomfortable but necessary. What if that isn't who you are, but only a story you've grown used to believing? Usually when we notice we're stuck in our thoughts, we respond in a very familiar way. We try to fix them, think more positively, more logically, more correctly. But here's the paradox. The harder we try to fix our thinking, the deeper we're pulled into the current of thought itself. Montaigne chose a different path. Instead of arguing with his thoughts, he stepped back. He didn't ask, is this thought right or wrong? He asked, why am I thinking this, and do I actually need to believe it? This is the subtle turning point. Because the truth Montaigne left behind isn't about the content of thought, but about our relationship to thought itself. We don't suffer because negative thoughts appear. We suffer because we identify with them. The moment a thought arises and you believe, this is me, freedom disappears. For Montaigne, inner freedom doesn't come from controlling the world, and it doesn't come from controlling thought. It comes from a movement that is very small, yet very deep, stepping back and seeing that you are thinking. To do this, Montaigne didn't construct a grand system. He did something far simpler. Montaigne didn't write to teach others how to live. He wrote to observe himself. He observed how he thought, how he feared, how he contradicted himself, and how he changed over time. He treated his own mind as a living laboratory, no judgment, no idealization, just clear, sober recognition. Today I think differently than yesterday. And that too is human. That spirit, though born centuries ago, applies directly to modern life. Many people first encounter Montaigne's insight when they begin to notice a familiar sentence in their own mind. I always fail. I'm not cut out for this. This is definitely going to go wrong. This time they don't argue, they don't push back, they don't try to think positively. They simply note, this is one of my familiar thought patterns. And in that exact moment, the thought loses its authority to represent the whole person. First, observe. A thought has appeared. Don't chase it, don't push it away. Just notice that it's there. Next, describe without judgment. This is an anxious thought. This is a self-critical habit. No right or wrong, no good or bad. Finally, choose. Do I need to act on this thought, or simply acknowledge it as a mental event? The moment choice appears, freedom appears. Today, when a strong emotion arises, don't fix the problem, don't fix the feeling. Do just one thing. Observe and describe how you are thinking, as if you were writing a very short essay about yourself. I am thinking. Not, I am this thought. If you can tell the difference, you open a space of freedom you may not have known was available to you. Montaigne didn't aim to become perfect. He aimed to become lucid about himself. He understood that inner freedom doesn't come from eliminating every uncomfortable thought, but from refusing to let those thoughts stand in for who you are. Metacognition doesn't make you cold. It makes you more human. Because you stop condemning yourself based on passing thoughts that come and go like the weather. When you can observe your thinking, it no longer drags you along. You don't need to deny it. You don't need to suppress it. You only need enough distance to see it, and it's in that distance that real freedom begins. In the next video, we'll explore a boundary that's easy to confuse. The difference between observing thoughts and suppressing emotions, a common misunderstanding, and the line between inner maturity and quietly oppressing yourself.